Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Howdy, Red O'Loughlin here. We're on the Wise Ones on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. I am a researcher. I research the human body at the cellular level, chemically speaking. I look for cause and effect relationships. I try to provide information for people on what can happen and what is potentially also, from the good side and from the bad side. I look at myself, it used to be as a health and wellness writer. Nowadays, I kind of bend into the category of I write decision support manuals for aging, because I think that really describes more about what I do than anything else. So that is where I focus on longevity, age-related stuff. But when I'm not doing TV shows, this is my middle show of 3 shows back to back to back today. One of those senior moments. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Susan Sharrard is my guest today. Susan is a entrepreneur, a yoga specialist, involved in many, many things. Susan, please join us up here on stage.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Susan and I met earlier, I guess, but not quite a year ago, maybe, on a local networking group here in Houston. And she is a host, speaker, and you talk about marketing on your particular segment. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're not only involved in yoga, you also pick up a subspecialty in marketing. How did that happen?
Well, I have an online yoga membership, and marketing is a really big part of being successful online. So I found an amazing coach to follow, and she taught me how to design challenges, have a membership portal and Kartra, a funnel with email marketing, and I really enjoy networking as a way to promote my business.
Let's talk a little bit about your business, yoga. When did you get involved with yoga?
So I have been doing yoga about 8 years now, I think.
So semi-late in life, so to speak?
Yes.
Are you looking at yoga as a personal development thing, or is this part of a health improvement or a business or all the above?
Well, it started out as I needed to fix chronic pain issue. I have bursitis in my hips from sitting at a desk my whole career, and the steroid shots and all the different things my doctor was giving wasn't helping me. So I was really fortunate to find a senior yoga teacher in my area who knew exactly what I needed. Hip openers is what they're called. And it changed my life from a pain level of an 8, 9. Now I'm down to a 1 to a 3.
8, 9, that's pretty intense.
Yeah.
How long did you suffer with that?
I got bursitis in my hips in my mid-50s, and I was needing actually a cane to walk around outside of my home, and I was even thinking of getting a walker inside of my home. My hips were very stiff, and I didn't know what to do, other than my doctor kept telling me walk on the treadmill, but the yoga instructor I went to said, that's really good advice to walk, but what you're doing is this with your hips when you need to do this. And so many of us sit all day or we stand all day and we get stiffness in our hips. It took me probably a couple of years to bring it down that low. I also used to not enjoy exercise, and I procrastinated to do it until I had chronic pain. So I went through a whole program of how to overcome procrastination. I've became an accountability coach, and I also teach. I work with women 40 plus. I teach women how to overcome procrastination to make exercise and movement a part of their daily life where they will enjoy it.
Okay, so you're sitting there at your work and things gradually get worse, difficulty moving, mobility issues. Uh, how long did it take them to diagnose the problem?
Well, my doctor knew right away, just with my symptoms and then with the testing and whatnot. Um, I could have had surgery, but sometimes it's not successful if they replace that bursa sac, the cushioning. So I opted to try to fix it myself and started walking on the treadmill. I started taking anti-inflammatory pills. I started taking steroid shots. And it helped, but it kept coming back and it was getting progressively worse, especially after I went through menopause. So a lot of women in their late 50s and 60s, our bodies change so much. And that's when I sought the help of the yoga teacher too. I thought maybe a different style of exercise might help me.
Okay, so you chose an exercise rather than walking, as you say, to open up. So, what kind of yoga poses were you doing for that?
Well, they're called hip openers, and you can actually do them seated or on the mat. So, for people that can't get down on the floor, you can actually do some great hip openers seated. If you're sitting at a desk and working all day, you can do some of these poses as well, and they're just great. They bring space into the joints, and they help with chronic issues like stiffness, or it also helps with low back pain too. Our low back's connected to our hips, and then of course the more I started practicing yoga, I'm starting to realize, and I decided to become a yoga teacher at that point. Our posture is so important. Our shoulders, when we roll forward and crunch over, it affects our low back. It affects our hips. And I always like to tell this story that we've been crunchified. Like ever since we learned how to walk, gravity's been pulling us down. And maybe you had a little accident on your bicycle as a kid and you hurt your knee, and then you got in a little fender bender in the parking lot with your first car when you were 16, and now you've hurt your shoulder, and now you're walking a little crooked. And so it's that type of chronic pain that I'm talking about, not necessarily pain that I always like to know from people, what have their doctors said? What's the x-rays shown? People really need to be educated on what's causing the pain. But a lot of times it's a daily aches and pains from sitting or being in one posture for too long is what I'm skilled at addressing and helping people with.
Okay, you have a challenge coming up here, literally starting on Monday. Uh, is that the hip openers, the low back pain, and things like that? Those are all kinds of things that could be addressed easily with your challenge.
Yes, we're going to be doing about a 20 or 30-minute presentation via slides. So I go over motivation versus willpower versus discipline, and we do some habit stacking exercises to help you get consistent in your routine. So we go into mindset. I help the women with that. But this challenge is different than a lot of challenges in the sense that people go to a challenge and they don't finish it because there's so much information, and then they feel overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. So the second half of the day of the training, we're going to be doing all different types of yoga. So women are going to leave the challenge feeling really physically good. And that's, I think, the big difference of my challenge compared to a lot of other challenges out there. But we will do chair yoga on the mat, hip openers, um, uh, chair Pilates, which is all about strengthening the core. And I'll just talk really briefly about the VIP really quick. It's a very affordable for $7. if you sign up right away when you first sign up for the challenge. Other than that, it's a $27 ticket, but it's a great price because I'm going to be doing a form check, which means I'm going to be telling everyone, turn the camera on yourself. We're going to be on Zoom. I need to see you in this pose. And I'm going to be giving the women my 5 top yoga poses, which has helped a lot of my clients to realign the lower back with the pelvis, and it helps with low back pain. Or if you have like a knot in your shoulder, I have a great exercise for that, as well as on the mat, a hip stretch too. So,
How long is the challenge on a daily basis?
it's Monday through Friday, and the free challenge itself is 5 p.m. Central to 6. So it's a 1 hour session. And then for people who want to go further and deeper their lessons, then it's the 1 hour right after that. So 6 to 7 o'clock Central. The free challenge is in a Facebook private group community. If you're not on Facebook, you can sign up via email and you'll get the replays for 24 hours. Or the VIP is on Zoom, and then we'll be in person where I can see your form and, tell you, Terry, your arms are too low, or Cindy, you need to step way back to come into that pose correctly. So it'll be really good to do the form check and get you in the correct pose for the more advanced poses that I'm offering.
Okay, is this primarily for people over 40 or 50, or primarily for women, or what's the specialty that you're offering on this one?
Yes, it is. It's women 40 plus, and that's my target audience. I'm a senior lady, and I like working with senior women, and that's just my audience base. So I do have a membership. I'm the founder of the Yoga and Movement Circle, where I host 11 live classes a week, and I'll be introducing that during the challenge for women who want to continue and work further with me after the challenge.
Are any of these recorded? If somebody misses it, they can catch up later on?
Yes, it is going to be recorded, but if you're in the free challenge, you'll only have access to the recordings for 24 hours. So if you come into the VIP, you'll have lifetime access. There's 5 extra bonuses that are really great. They go deeper into the challenge to help you make yoga a forefront of your life. And there's extra perks, like you get all the slides and different things like that too.
You mentioned some slides when we were backstage before the show. Maybe now's a good time to bring those up and talk about them.
Yeah, we could do that. It's always kind of fun to see the poses that I'm talking about. So I teach beginner to beginner, a little bit of intermediate yoga. And as you can see on the top left, this is a really great back stretch. So we'll be doing some gentle back stretches. The top right, this is a really nice pose to do seated in a chair. I always tell my students, think ankle, hip, shoulder, out the fingers, and we're going to elongate and reach and stretch as a nice side stretch for the body. The bottom left, of course, hamstring calf stretch. You don't have to touch your toes. I'm always giving my clients modifications. Do what feels good to your spine, to your back. And then the last one on the right is, it's actually called the cat cow. She's just in the beginning pose, but this is a nice posture right here of what we're working towards, is sitting up nice and tall and bringing the shoulders back so that we can open up the chest and have lots of oxygen. We need lots of oxygen to stay healthy.
You'd mentioned a term a little while ago called habit stacking. What is that?
So habit stacking, I always recommend my students to read Atomic Habits and the book called Habit Stacking. They're great techniques for basically you are doing small little habits during your day, and you don't eat the elephant with one big bite. So you decide on, okay, for 3 minutes I'm going to start a new habit. And I'll give you an example. I decided that I wanted to start walking every morning and get the fresh air, see the sun coming up. So how am I going to make that happen on a regular basis? Well, first off, make it a habit because our brain likes habits. So it's just like brushing your teeth. So I'd get up, grab my workout clothes, get my phone, turn it on, and I have an accountability buddy, which is my dog. So every morning we go walk, and it's just a habit that I do over and over and over, and you get used to it. That's actually how I overcame procrastination. Was I could barely get down on the floor at a pain level of 8-9, but I did it, and I sat in front of the TV on Tuesday, Thursday nights. I started out for 3 minutes, then I went to 10 minutes because it felt so good. It was really helping me. Then I moved it to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So when you start enjoying your habits, you start doing them more. And I'm a big believer in habits versus, willpower or motivation. It's a great way to design your life when you want to change to have more healthy habits.
Willpower and motivation. You mentioned the term earlier when we talked about habit stacking. You talked about mindset. And so, mindset, why don't we delve into that topic for just a brief moment or two?
Yeah, it's such an important topic. Thank you for asking about that, Red. So in my presentation for the challenge, I asked the women right up at the beginning, which woman are you? One, two, or three? One, I don't really enjoy exercise. It's really hard for me. I procrastinate to do it. Two, I enjoy exercise, but I have a hard time starting and stopping and keeping consistent. Something's always going on. Or three, I really love exercise and I want to up level my routine. So there's three different types of women, and my challenge is geared for all of them because throughout the slides I'll be asking reflective questions. This question's for woman number one or woman number two or three. Mindset is different for each of those three levels. So if you're a one and you don't like to exercise, you need to dive into why. What is it about exercise that you don't like? Is it hard? Then maybe do something easier. And what would that be? Would that be a 5-minute neck stretch? We could all do that. That's not hard. Unless you have a lot of chronic pain in your neck, then maybe you start with some leg lifts, type of thing. Um, and that's just kind of an example. But mindset is example woman number two, time. I don't have time is a big mindset challenge. And that's a real thing. You may be taking care of aging parents, you may be taking care of grandkids, or, life happens. But is it a people pleasing issue? Possibly you're putting everyone else ahead of you, because I think all of us, we can all find 15 minutes to a half an hour every day to take care of ourselves when it's important. So how do you dive into getting a new identity and thinking differently? So that just kind of gives you a couple of examples of the mindset that I talk about in my challenge.
I think you nailed it with the last sentence or two. You talked about when it's important. If it's not important, it's not important. It's everything else. But again, your first grandkid, your first whatever, there are things in it, or your mom has something that really needs a lot of. When it's important, you make things happen. You change your mindset to adapt and take action. And I think you kind of covered it very, very nicely because you broke it down to three different categories. That's a different way of me hearing that same thing as a generic discussion in a book or a video or whatever. Do you do videos?
Videos. Well, I do Facebook Lives. I do trainings in my free group. It's a private community. I have a YouTube channel. I also have videos there, as well as I'm on Instagram. So I try to do something every week when I can. I run free classes throughout the year. And especially I love doing the challenge. Those are free classes for the week. So I do videos and free classes. And then I hope, of course, if I'm a good fit in your life and you enjoy my style that I teach and the schedule works well for you, then my membership is really where I love connecting with women, because It's only $20 a month. We exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have really great classes. We have a weekly health and wellness session. We talk about all kinds of issues from um, hormone disruptors in the kitchen to how do we deal with alopecia and get our hair growing back. The women are always ask me what topics that they want to hear about. Our next one coming up is um, vibration and the effects of things like your cell phone and the microwave. How does that really affect us? So I always, let everyone know I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but I enjoy researching all these things for you. And so I'm going to bring these topics to you and we'll discuss it. And it just motivates the women in my community to work towards staying healthy and kind of have that cheerleader, rah, rah, we're behind you and supporting you. So if you're someone that needs that, a kind of your tribe, then my group offers that.
Well, that's quite a bit more than just simple yoga. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a commercial break here, a very short one, and we come back. But you kind of left the yoga world into health and wellness. So let's kind of continue on in the health and wellness aspect when we return from the break.
Okay.
Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? In a world quick to judge, one book dares to reveal the hidden cost of silence. Discover Holy but Harmful, The Silent Sin of Judgment, How Hidden Judgments Destroy Relationships and Damage Lives by Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. The Amazon #1 bestseller that's transforming the way we understand ourselves and the way we see others. Pick up the companion workbook to uncover your own hidden judgments and learn how to break free from them. Available now on Amazon and at fine bookstores worldwide.
Brad Laughlin here. We're on The Wise Ones with Susan SHARRARD. Susan is a yoga enthusiast, expert, and loves to connect everything with health and wellness into just about every aspect of her life. So, Susan, please join me back up here on stage.
Thank you.
We started out with just, little hurts and aches and pains and yoga, and now we're into alopecia and who knows what else. So how did that transition from yoga into health, wellness, and better living happen?
Yeah, that's a really great question. Thank you for asking that, Red. So I taught yoga classes at a local gym for about 5 years, and some things came up to where I just couldn't make it there anymore. And I thought, well, I'm just going to take a little break and see if I want to teach somewhere else or maybe start something online. So this was before I started my online business. And I quit exercising during those 6 weeks. I lost my tribe. And I thought to myself, if as a yoga teacher, it's this hard for me to stay consistent, then I just can't imagine how hard it is for other people. So I decided that when I made the decision to start an online business, I want to have a deeper support system. I don't want to just offer, buy videos from me, watch my routine, get my ebook. I want to exercise with the women, and I want them to be my tribe as well as they're my tribe. We support each other, and so it just kind of segued into how would we do that, and the women started asking, well, I'm worried about what happens when we have a stroke. How can we prevent strokes? That's a really big thing for us as we get older. Or I have osteoporosis. What exactly is that? And how does exercise help with that? So they started asking me a lot of different questions, and I started just researching it, and we decided to hop on Zoom together as a group, and we get together once a week, every hour, and just have a health and wellness session.
Did you just use Google only for your research, or did you drop into AI and ask some questions around? Tell us a little bit about how you do your research.
Yeah, so I use AI, I use Chat GPT and Claude, and I like to cross reference. to make sure everything's accurate. Sometimes I will go on Google if something looks like, is that really correct? And then I also like to go on YouTube, and before we record, we'll watch a couple, 2 or 3 videos. I like to find doctors and reputable people to see the visual. You know, there's some amazing, great presentations where they just explain it in such a better way when you can see the visual. So we'll watch a couple of videos and then we'll come on camera and we'll talk about the videos. We'll talk about their views. I always let the women know I'm not a doctor. If you have any health questions, always consult your doctor. This is just a group of women getting together that, you know, they have struggles with these issues. Maybe someone else has had the same thing and it might help them, you know, so we inspire each other. We share our information. And it's a really wonderful group it just makes you think during the week, oh, I need to start eating more salmon. That's a brain food. Our brain is a fatty organ and it likes fatty fish. And, you know, we talked about organ meat like liver. The one lady said, well, I don't really like the taste of it, but I'll take some of it and I'll put it in my hamburger meat. And that brings in more iron and the brain likes iron. So that was a brain health session that we had this last week. So, you know, we talk about things like that.
I found here probably just in the last year and a half, that I used to use YouTube a lot. I'm finding more information now, more valuable information from my research, longevity, aging, and things off Instagram. Again, there are so many people in there with regard to, you know, doctors and fitness and longevity and this and that. And, you know, I come across, okay, let me take a look and see what he has. Oh, 4,400 videos he's posted. That kind of gives me an idea. Plus I like what he has. Or I come up, they only have 8. Okay, well, that maybe just starting. And so I use Instagram a lot. It's very difficult to search. You know, I can search YouTube instantly. It's super easy. But I have to almost write down the name because just because I looked at it doesn't mean it's easy to find the next time I want to find something. You know, I found something literally 2 days ago, and then let me just do a couple of Instagram search. Never found it again. So I went to Google. Then I went to my AI, and I'm finding stuff, but I want to get back to where did I find the source information at, because it was from a doctor, but he was a urologist or something, I want to say. But he was talking about stuff dealing with the cardiovascular world, and the two don't connect as a general rule. And so, but, well, that's kind of interesting. So anyway, might suggest that as a potential source of just some really good information. You mentioned an ebook a minute ago. Tell us about that.
Well, what I said about the ebook is my challenge is not giving you videos or ebooks, but we're actually doing real-time live exercising together. I haven't written an ebook. I do have workbooks for the VIP members, but that's what I had said about the ebook, Red.
Okay, I misunderstood. Do you do private? Do you take on private clients one-on-one?
Yes, actually, I do. I am an accountability coach, and I just recently started working with someone new a couple of weeks ago. We use that healthy habit program, and to give you an idea, we came up with they wanted to work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I said you have one big goal. That's all. One big goal. Put your yoga clothes on, come to class, and exercise for 3 minutes. That's all you have to do. If you aren't really feeling good, if you're tired, if you don't want to exercise, you don't have any obligation to exercise past those 3 minutes, because starting and stopping is the hardest thing in developing a new habit. So I asked yesterday, what do you think is going to happen in a year from now if you keep doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday 3-minute habit? You know, let's visualize how that's going to transform into you're going to start feeling good. You're obviously going to want to start working out for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half an hour. I mean, who knows? You might you might be jogging in the afternoon by that time. It takes off. It's a feel good thing. And you just have to get over that starting, stopping challenge. And that's the best way to do it that I have found is, and habits, let me just say really quick too, habits are stacking in between what you normally do. So if you're going to make coffee, maybe you do a 5-minute neck stretch, or excuse me, a 3-minute neck stretch, and then you drink your coffee. So you stack it in between things that are normally a habit in your life.
There's a guy here in Houston, Mark's his name, and several years ago he started out, I'm going to walk a mile a day. And then it became run a mile a day. And he has not missed a day, no matter what the weather's been like now for years. And I remember him putting, 1,000 days in a row, 2,000 days in a row. And so those things, as you start doing them, they become habit forming. You don't want to stop doing it because you have a habit to do it. And so that's also important to that mindset that you're talking about. That habit becomes important, and then stopping that habit becomes even more important. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, our brains like habits. Our brain likes easy. So if you have the habit of plopping down on the sofa and eating ice cream to watch TV after work, you get in the habit of doing that. If you have the habit of going outside and taking a walk around the block and skipping the ice cream before you watch TV, that becomes a habit. And when you start doing it really becomes more about discipline than it does about motivation or willpower.
Okay, so that habit could just as easily be that second beer or that third beer, just because the stress of the day really needs that third or fourth beer, because who knows what. But we don't know how to de-stress. How much do you work with people on stress management?
Yeah, so yoga is a wonderful form of practice that is for stress. And we do somatic yoga poses as well. So somatic yoga poses is actually more like an internal pain, actually. So women that have Parkinson's or lymphedema or fibromyalgia, for example. But it's also great for stress, and it's a really deep rest of the central nervous system. And I teach several somatic yoga poses. We do an afternoon, 2:00 in the afternoon. Quit sitting on your desk. Let's get up and do some easy aerobics for 10 or 15 minutes, and then we're going to do a resting somatic yoga pose. So yoga is a mindfulness exercise. We breathe. I'm a vinyasa teacher, and that's what it means, going from one pose to the next, connected through breath work. So it's a mindfulness exercise that slows you down. And I've taught mindfulness. I'm certified in mindfulness. The best way that I can explain it is this. So one morning I was going to go drive to work, and I left my subdivision. I have to go over a long bridge to get there, and there was tons of traffic. There must have been an accident on the bridge. And I immediately thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for work. This is not good. I hope the person's okay. All this traffic stopped, and I just felt kind of stressed. And I noticed, okay, the first thing in mindfulness is awareness. So I noticed I'm gripping onto the steering wheel. My shoulders are coming up to my ears. The second part of mindfulness is pretend like you're a bird, and you're going to fly up into the tree, and you're going to observe. You're just going to observe how you're reacting. And once you start doing that, like I realized, I'm stressing my body out. I'm making it worse. So I'm going to breathe and relax. I'm going to relax my shoulders down from the ears. And then the third part of mindfulness is shift into gratitude. I started thinking about my grandkids and how much I love them and how big part of my life that they are, because stress and gratitude cannot exist together. So yoga is a mindfulness exercise that teaches you to how to live more mindfully every day, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? It's kind of like meditation in a way, Red.
It absolutely makes sense. Who is a really good client for you to work with one-on-one?
Women 40 plus that either are that 1, 2, or 3. 1, they procrastinate. It's really hard. They want to come into my program. I have some healthy habit challenges that they can sign up and do. It's part of the course. It's free. And then the woman number 2 who enjoys exercises but struggles to start with starting and stopping. I'll be reaching out. I haven't seen you in a little bit. I'm missing you in class. Are you coming? And then that woman 3 who loves to exercise, and she shows up every day and wants to do even more. So those are my ideal clients, I think.
We started out with your 5-step, no, not the 5-step. We started out with the challenge. So why don't we get here very close to the end? Let's kind of wrap things up a little bit. How do people get into your 5-step plan challenge? How do they contact you, et cetera?
Yes, so I have a sign up link, and once you sign up, then you'll be in my email database, and you'll get emails all about when the upcoming times are. If you are able to, if you're in Facebook and you join my Facebook group, those there'll be live trainings in Facebook. You can attend live. If you're not in Facebook, you'll get that 24-hour replay video emailed out to you. And so sign up. And on this page that Red's showing right here, we have day 1. I'm going to be teaching the top 5 tips for staying consistent with your yoga routine. And then we're going to do a chair yoga class. Day 2, understanding your mindset. And then we're going to do a core Pilates class. Day 3, we're going to go into motivation and healthy habits. We're going to do a standing yoga and gentle weights class. Day 4, the feel good formula. I'm going to be talking about the difference between cardio, yoga, weights, and then we're going to get on the mat and do hip stretches. And then day 5, we're going to celebrate and bring everything together, do a review. And so sign up via this link, and it'll take you to a page for $7 if you want to upgrade for the VIP.
Now, for our audience that may be audio, SUSANNE, SUSANNE, SHARRARD, SHARRARD. And if you do a Google search on there, you'll find a lot of Susan Sherrard information. So you're fairly easy to find, and that's good, because sometimes I've had people, and I prepare for a presentation like this, and all of a sudden the person who shows up isn't the person I researched. They just have that very similar name. Yeah,
my goodness.
That's always neat too.
Wow.
Life is so much fun. But Susan, do you have any things coming up here literally in the next little bit that's important for the audience to know about?
Just, stretch, feel good. Come and try yoga if you've never tried it before. I even give tips on how to find your tribe. It's so important to find your tribe and get support, whether that's at a local gym or a yoga studio, or if you enjoy exercising at home. Get out and breathe and get some sunshine. Take care of your body and take care of yourself.
Thank you so very much, Susan. I really and truly appreciate your time today. And I look forward, we're going to be on tonight, I guess. We have a networking group tonight. So take care. And I look forward to our next connection here on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. So
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay. We're getting ready to wrap up the Wise Ones here on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. The next show in about 22 minutes is called Talking Heads. My presentation today is probably going to be the first of a half a dozen or more, and the topic is aging sucks. But there's so many things about aging that we don't know, and that's really overstating it. There are certain hallmarks of disease that happen the same pathways. Now, when you get down to a certain, maybe it goes in this direction for heart, this direction for gut, this direction for brain, but the pathways are there. You have the same thing. Certain habits give you, result in good health. And the same thing, aging. There's certain processes our bodies go through all the time. But if you know what they are, okay, if I do this, I make it worse. I accelerate my aging process. But if I do this, I can actually decelerate the aging process a little bit. And those are the things I think are super important. If you're looking at aging and you want to have a good, healthy retirement life where you can do what you want, these are the things you need to know about. So today on Talking Heads, my topic is, basically talking about those things we don't know about to get started. So Red O'Loughlin signing off on the USA Global TV and Radio Network, and we'll catch you next week. Bye now.
Get ready to wear the brand that's changing the world of media. Introducing the official USA Global TV and Radio online store. From our TV show hosts to our incredible global guests, you asked, we delivered. Rep your appearance with pride. Whether you've been on air, hosted a show, or tuned in, we have something just for you. Visit us at usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com and start shopping today. Check back frequently. We're dropping fresh new designs all the time. Showcase your role in our global community. These designs celebrate your voice, your story, your presence. It's more than just merchandise. It's a movement of hope, inspiration, education, and elevated listening. Head to usaglobaltvradiosshop.myspreadshop.com. Your spotlight awaits. USA Global TV and Radio. Elevate your style. Elevate the world.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USAGlobalTV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dies. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.